Thank you for coming back to Legends. Leaving today, May 27th, 2024, we're getting together again to remember some famous people who died lately or today. Through their work in the arts, these people have left an indelible mark on our minds and on the world. We are saddened by their deaths and want their families and fans to know that we are thinking of them. Peace out. Please show your respect and remember them by liking this movie if their stories have moved you or if you are moved by the extraordinary lives they lived. Thanks for living in our neighborhood. We will talk about some bad news about the Prince William in this film. Georgie Campbell, who was born in 1987 and died on May 26, 2024, was a famous British eventing writer who was known for how hard she worked and how skilled she was. Campbell, who was born in 1987, became interested in horses at a young age thanks to her mother, who ran a stable yard and riding school. Giving her early experience with horseback riding set the stage for what would become a successful career in eventing. Campbell started riding horses in Kent and had a lot of success with the Romney Marsh Pony Club. This led to her professional career. In 2010, she competed in her first event, the prestigious Land Rover Burghley Horse Trials. This was the start of her participation in some of the toughest and most important events in the sport. Campbell participated at the highest levels of eventing for many years, including the famous five-star events at Badminton and Burghley. This made her one of the most famous horse people in the world. Georgie Campbell married Jesse Campbell, another horse rider, in December 2020. Jesse's on the New Zealand eventing team. They became close because they both loved the sport, which helped them in their personal and business lives. They got through the ups and downs of competitive eventing together, helping each other through the tough training schedules and busy schedules that the sport needed. Georgie Campbell's happy life and career were tragically cut short on May 26, 2024, when she died in a horseback riding accident in Devon at the Bicton International Horse Trials. Campbell died at the age of 37, which shocked people in the horse world and beyond. The fact that the accident happened while she was racing shows how dangerous the sport she loved so much is. Her family, friends, and the world eventing community were all very saddened by her death. They will remember her for being kind and dedicated, as well as for her competitive spirit and accomplishments. Floyd Newman was a famous American saxophonist, session player, and band leader. He was known for playing the baritone sax and working with Stax Records for a long time. Newman was an important part of both the Mark Hughes Horn section and the Memphis Horns. His career was marked by important performances and partnerships. The late 1940s were the start of Newman's musical career. He was a member of the B.B. King Revue and played with famous singers like George Coleman and George Joyner. After that, he moved to Detroit and recorded with Jackie Brenston. He then went on tour with Sam Cooke before going back to Memphis. In Memphis, Howard Grimes played drums, Joe Woods played guitar, and Isaac Hayes played piano. Newman was in charge of the band. This group often played at the Plantation Inn and recorded the 1963 song Frog Stomp, which was written by Newman and Hayes together. Newman and Hayes had worked together before in Ben Branch's house band at the Tropicana Club. Hayes started out as a singer in that band. Later, Daniel Johns of the Australian rock band Silverchair was inspired by Newman's Frog Stomp. They named their first album Frog Stomp after seeing the song in their manager John Watson's record collection. This link shows how influential Newman was in music styles other than soul and R&B. By 1965, Newman had joined the Stax Records House Horn section and was one of the founders of the Memphis Horns, along with trumpeters Wayne Jackson and Gene Bullocks Miller and tenor saxophonist Andrew Love. This group was an important part of the Memphis sound. They played on many hit songs and helped create the horn-driven style that Stax Songs was known for. Floyd Newman died on May 23, 2023. He was 91 years old. Kate Elizabeth Kirsten Keswick Britton's Kirsty Hughes was best known for her part as Jane in the 1987 movie Jane in the Lost City. She was born in Fleet, Hampshire, to a BP businessman and grew up there. She went to the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art RADA and graduated in 1983. Hughes first came to people's attention in 1986 with an ad for British Airways. That same year, she played Elizabeth Robertson in the movie Starting Out. Jane and the Lost City, which came out in 1987, was her big break. In 1987, she played Toto in the Kitchen. In 1989, she played Continental at the Café Continental, and from 1987 to 1991, she played Boone. In the films The Enid Blyton Adventures 1997 and Reversals 2003, she played Allison Manning and Cynthia Barton. Hughes used to work with Sir Benjamin Slade to make Monsell House and Woodlands Castle popular wedding sites. They did this from 1995 to 2011. They broke up because she had an affair, and then after a year, she left her new partner. Hughes then worked at Dillington House in Somerset as an operations manager and then as a business manager. On May 27th, she had a stroke and died. People remember Kirsty Hughes for her varied acting career and the work she did to help event sites run their businesses. Her acts will always be remembered, as will the effect she had on the business and the people she worked with. Johnny Wachter was a successful American actor who was born on August 31st, 1986 in Charleston, South Carolina. He was best known for his roles as Brando Corbin on the hit TV show General Hospital and Johnny on the thriller show Siberia. Wachter's path to becoming an actor began in his hometown of Somerville, South Carolina, where he grew up and prepared for college. He graduated from the College of Charleston in 2009. Because he loved playing so much, he moved to Los Angeles to follow his dreams in the entertainment business. In 2007, he made his acting debut on the TV show Army Wives. Wachter's career took off when he played Brando Corbin on General Hospital from 2020 to 2022. The part got him a lot of attention and fans who stuck with him. His range as an actor was clear in his role as Johnny in Siberia. But he also had important roles in the TV show Army Wives and the movie USS Indianapolis, Men of Courage, and Supercell. Even though Wachter was becoming more famous in Hollywood, he stayed grounded by working as a barman to make money and learn how to survive in the tough entertainment business. Johnny Wachter's sad life ended on May 25th, 2024, when he was shot and killed in downtown Los Angeles. He was 37 years old. Three guys were trying to steal a catalytic converter from Wachter's car off of Pico Boulevard, which is where the incident happened. They killed Wachter with a pointless act of violence and then ran away, leaving him badly hurt. He was quickly taken to a nearby hospital, but was declared dead when he got there. People were shocked when they heard about his untimely death. Family, friends, and fans are sad about the loss of a skilled and loved actor. Hey, Isaac Red Holt was a famous jazz and soul drummer from the United States. He was best known for his work with the Ramsey Lewis Trio and his own group, Young Holt Unlimited. Holt was born in Rosedale, Mississippi, but grew up in Chicago, which is where he started making music. At Crane High School, he played in a group with Ramsey Lewis and L.D. Young, who would later work with him. Holt went to the Chicago Musical College to learn more about singing and the Kennedy King College to learn more about radio and TV. At the start of 1954, Holt joined the U.S. Army and was sent to Germany, where he played with a military band. When he got back to Chicago, he joined the Ramsey Lewis Trio in 1956 and helped them become well known. His work on the record The In Crowd, which won the trio Grammy Award for Best Jazz Performance in 1965, stands out. In the late 1950s, Holt also made records with known jazz artists like Earl Bostic and James Moody. Holt and L.D. Young left Ramsey Lewis in 1966 to start the instrumental soul band Young Holt Unlimited, which became a big hit. Soulful Strut, their biggest hit, came out in November 1968 and went to #1 in Canada and #3 in the U.S., making it a gold record. Holt continued to play as Red Holt Unlimited after the band broke up in 1974. He did so well into the 1990s and helped teach jazz in Illinois. From 1980 to 1985, he started the Gumption Artists Workshop and played all over the world, including at the Montreux Jazz Festival in 1988 and in Singapore in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Holt also worked with a group at the East Bank Club in Chicago for a long time and produced the vinyl LP, It's a Take on the Treehouse label. His commitment to success didn't end until the COVID-19 pandemic. Holt had 3 boys with Marilyn Green, whom he had been married to since 1954. He died in Chicago on May 23, 2023, from lung cancer. He was 91 years old. English drummer Alan White was very important. He was best known for playing with the progressive rock band Yes for almost 50 years. When White replaced Bill Bruford in the band Yes in 1972, he became their longest-serving member and, along with bassist Chris Squire, stayed with the group his whole life. His technical skill and creative talents had a huge effect on the band and on progressive rock as a whole. When White joined John Lennon and Yoko Ono's Plastic Ono Band in 1969, it was a big change in his career. Lennon asked him to play at the Toronto Rock and Roll Revival Festival, and he did a great show at the Lyceum Ballroom afterward. White is a legendary rock drummer who played on hit songs like Imagine and Instant Karma. He also helped make most of John Lennon's 1971 album, Imagine, which solidified his place in rock history. In addition to his work with Yes and Lennon, White was a very flexible drummer who played on more than 50 albums by other acts, such as George Harrison, Ginger Baker's Air Force, Terry Reid, Joe Cocker, and The Ventures. His wide range of session work showed how flexible he was and cemented his image as a highly sought-after drummer in the music business. In 2017, White was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of the band. Yes, this was done in honor of his achievements to music. He loved his family very much and was married to Gigi for more than 40 years. They had 2 children together, Jesse and Cassie. Like him, his son Jesse wanted to be a musician and did the same thing. White was also the best man at John Anderson's wedding in 1997, which shows how close he is with people in the music business. Alan White died at his home in Newcastle, Washington on May 26, 2022. He was 72 years old and had been sick for a short time. In an emotional and rare joint statement, Prince William and Kate Middleton talked about how sad they were about the terrible Spitfire crash near an RAF base. As soon as the accident happened, the Prince and Princess of Wales posted on social media that they were very sorry for the loss of the pilot. Saturday in Coningsby, Lincolnshire, there was a Battle of Britain event when the plane crashed. A moving message from the royal couple was sent through their official at Kensington Royal handle. It said, "Incredibly sad to hear of the news this afternoon from RAF Coningsby, his family, the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight, and the whole RAF family are in our thoughts tonight, WC. The accident happened at 1:10 p.m. when a Spitfire that was taking part in the parade crashed into a field. People who were there said the plane sounded slow right after takeoff. One neighbor said it had just taken off and we could hear it cough and sputter. It was about 100 meters above the ground. It flipped over and turned to the left." Quickly, emergency services like several fire trucks and a medical helicopter team arrived at the scene. Even though they got there quickly, the pilot's injuries were too bad for him to survive, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. A spokesperson for the Ministry of Defense revealed the tragedy by saying, "The pilot's family has been told, and we ask that they be given privacy during this sad time." The authorities said that the pilot was the only person in the plane and that no one else was hurt. The statement went into depth. The cops were called to the scene of the accident just before 1:30 p.m. Today, May 25th, and emergency services were sent there right away. Sadly, the pilot's injuries were so bad that he could not be saved, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. The cause is still being looked into. This terrible event has cast a shadow over the RAF and people who are linked to the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight. Many people are very sad, and the message from Prince William and Kate Middleton makes that clear.